What's up, guys? Thanks for clicking on the video, and I just want to give a big shout out to all y'all for 500 subscribers. It's not a lot, but it is something, and I really appreciate it. The other thing is Merry Christmas Eve. It is Christmas Eve today, even though this video probably won't be uploaded for another week. I don't know, yada yada. But anyways, sitting in front of me is the new project car of the channel that I just bought yesterday, and it was probably the biggest shit show of my fucking life trying to get this bitch home, because all I had was an A-frame, which is like where it goes to the hitch and then you attach the other two lever points to the frame, or like to the front end or whatever. And let's say I didn't have any hardware, it was literally just an A-frame. And so I didn't take any videos of it or anything. I brought my camera, but I was just so stressed out because I was an hour away from my house in North Houston, and I live in South Houston. So in order to get this bitch back, I had to take a bunch of straps and wrap it around the frame to the bumper, and I just tried everything, and I somehow ended up making it home after having to pull over about 5 times to readjust everything. And finally, whenever we made it back, we were like, so there's 4 turns when you're actually into my neighborhood area, and I was telling my friend, I was like, bro, we only got 4 turns left, we are fine. And so on the first turn I come up to, something happens, and let's just say this A-frame is supposed to be like that. It ended up, so I had my friend Alex in the car the whole time just to steer and brake, just in case. We didn't really need him because the A-frame does help with that, but he was in the car, and I don't know what happened, but I was coming around the turn, and he ended up like going this way and then shooting off, and he shot the car into a ditch right by my house. And I have a video footage of that from the video he took on his potato Android quality phone, so I'm gonna insert that right now.
I'm good.
I'll ride in it again, it's my fault.
No, it's not your fault. You fucking hit that shit going like 40. Oh.
Here, stop. Hey, I'll jump in so you can steer.
And as you can see, that was a shit show, and that was literally 2 minutes away from my house. Luckily, it pulled straight out with no issues, thanks to my dad's foreskin. That thing's a beast. I love it. It's got 310,000 miles on it now, and it's pretty impressive. But anyways, I bought this car for $480, and I was gonna pay $600 for it, but then we couldn't get the motor to crank over. He said it's got a blown head gasket, and so I was looking into it, and I was trying to see if we can get it to crank over, but we could not get it to crank over. So I'm gonna try everything I can. Here's the motor. I'll show you this first. I took the stock air box off to try to take the spark plug out. The end of the spark plug was all rusty, and it looked like how aluminum looked. And the other thing is, this has the dual overhead cam EJ25D. You can see it right there, EJ25D. I did not even know this was single overhead cam, but I was just gonna change the head gasket, but now I might have to do more, and I guess we're gonna see. But other than that, let me just go ahead and pan out. So here you go. And this thing is pretty clean. Let me show you the back first. There's a tow strap, the air box, and the main reason why I went ahead and picked this car up and didn't just let it go was because of this. It is a stick shift manual, 3 pedals, and this bitch looks exactly like the interior of my Impreza too, which is hilarious. I could probably swap some things over, and it's got a working fog light, which is hot. And those turn on. I'm probably gonna do those yellow so they could be a little bit more JDM. But anyways, this is the new project. It's got quite a few body damage, and you can see from whenever it hit the fucking ditch, that's the only thing that broke. The thing, I think the bracket just bent down, but the light still works, which is funny. But here's the rest of the car. It's got PT Cruiser wheels on the back because they had bad tires, and so, or because these wheels had bad tires. But anyways, that's the, I still have the stock wheels, and there's some weird stickers all over it too. But other than that, I'm just gonna go ahead and start cleaning this bitch. So I'm gonna time lapse that, and yeah. So here she is, as good as she's gonna look right now. And now that she's all clean, you can see dent, 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 door ding, quarter panel, gate, another dent right there. This gas cap sits in way too far. I'm not sure why, because I can barely get it. Couple door dings there, roof thing there, ding there. Other than that, I mean, it's not that bad, but it does look way cleaner and better. The engine bay cleaned up a lot, and I'm so happy. But I gotta put the stock wheels in the back on, because they put those wheels on because they had better tires, but they're not the stock ones, of course, are in the back. If you're also wondering where the radiator was at, it was in the back too, because yesterday when I was buying it, I took it out to see if I could crank it over manually, and it didn't work. So I just put it in the back real quick. But that's that for now. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do next. Probably take all the rice off the 4x4, even though this is all-wheel drive. If you don't know the difference between all-wheel drive and 4x4, 4x4 is usually a locked diff that you can change, and all-wheel drive is a open diff that is always four-wheel spinning. So I'll probably take these stickers off. Probably keep this one on for a little bit just because it's fucking retarded. Whenever I was cleaning it out, I actually got on my back to clean the under part. And one thing I noticed, there was a bunch of sand. I don't know if you can really see it. I mean, you can see some right there, but it was the back area. And I was just taking some stuff apart. And if we look down at this subframe down here, that bitch is caked. And this also has the old-fashioned EGR, which I'm gonna do a fat delete on, because I don't want all these stupid hoses and lines and all this stupid shit on it. I want this bitch as open as possible. But we can see down there that there's so much sand and everything. And so what I think happened is they got this bitch bodied, and they tried to fucking overheat it or something. They like overheated it trying to get it out or something. But I don't know if they burnt the clutch out or something, but it is burnt because of what I did yesterday. So we couldn't get the motor to free up like manually with our hands. So I hooked it up to the foreskin, and we were dragging this bitch, and I had it in second gear. And at first it was fucking like chirping the tires. It was all four tires were just skidding. And then finally they freed up and they were spinning. I was like, oh, is the motor going over? And I tried to crank it and it didn't crank. And it turns out I was burning the clutch out, and so it smells really bad right now. So hopefully I don't have to replace the clutch. But I was just looking and I was like, how is there so much sand and everything? It is just everywhere. Somehow there's not a lot on the inside, so they must have vacuumed it pretty well. But there was so much sand like all along the tailpipe. I don't know if y'all can see. Yeah, I don't know if y'all can really see that well, but that was all fucking covered in sand, and there's still a bunch left. But I'm just trying to get this bitch as bare as possible, and see, because if you see the spark plugs, they're really low. And so what I'm going to try to do is undo the motor mounts and jack the motor up a little bit so I can get them out way easier. That's why I removed the battery and that, and the air box and everything. So that's just what I'm doing right now. Don't know what to record. I'm just going to fuck around with this more. So I pushed it back so I could jack it up and not be in the water. And my claim seems to be true, because if you see the whole bottom of the car, this is all sand. There's just sand coated on everything, which I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but I guess I'll figure that out. I was going to undo the motor mount so I could lift it up and get to the spark plugs easier, but I don't know. I'm fucking having water dripping on me constantly, which is pretty annoying, but that's what I'm trying to do. I might have to take the headers off, because you can see that one nut right there is kind of in a hard place, so I hope those aren't rusted on really tight, but I guess I'll figure that out. So I got the motor jacked up and I was able to get the spark plugs out way easier, and you can see they are corroded. The other side was worse. Let me show you that. So you can definitely tell there was some corrosion. And so I sprayed some Aerocoil, whatever. I don't think I sprayed enough in there, but I'm just gonna let that sit for a while, and then I'm gonna try to manually crank it over since there's gonna be no compression or whatever, so it should be fine. Hopefully I can get it to crank over, and if I can, then that'll be perfect, and I can hear if there's any internal issues. But all these spark plugs look pretty good other than that, so I'm probably gonna replace them, yada yada. And one thing that really annoying happened is all the studs came out with the exhaust, so it's gonna be a bitch to line them back up, because whenever the studs are still in, it's really easy to just, you know, slide it back on. But that didn't happen, of course, and everything's just covered in sand, and everything's dripping on me, and it's Christmas Eve, and I'm working on it, but I don't care, because I'm having fun, and I'm recording, yada yada. I'm in a weird mood. Bye. What's up, guys? I haven't picked up this camera in a few days. It is December 31st, and I believe the last time I recorded was Christmas or Christmas Eve, because I had something come up. Y'all know how I changed the head gasket on the Cressida? Well, it's starting to have another issue. I took a really good video on my phone, and I'll insert it here.
Only whenever I grab it. And it sounds like it's coming from like the passenger side valve cover. But I decided to take that off, and it's like smoking bad. So I think that might be a valve seal with a lifter problem. I hope it's just a lifter. Don't want to have to rebuild anything. Smoking from there and barely from the back.
And as you can see, it's making some weird ticking noise, but I don't understand what is going on, because I have it running now and it's not making the sound at all. It's idling a little high, but I really don't fucking understand. So I don't know, it's just now warming up. It's idling a little high in park, but it was making that sound. And so of course I'm gonna worry about the Cressida more than the Forester. And Lena just got her driver's license like 3 days ago or something. But I pushed the Forester in at 2 o'clock in the morning last night and started working on it. I was finally able to get the harmonic balancer off. I had to get 2 screwdrivers and just slowly wiggle. I had one here and one on the bottom, and I was just slowly doing it back and forth to like wiggle it off. And I got everything off, got the timing belt off. I sprayed some, what is this, Aerocoil in the intake valves, and then moved the cam gears to hopefully get it in there, because I didn't know if spraying it in the valve or the spark plug hole was enough. So I have it like that, but other than that, the heads are ready to take off. I just have to figure out how to get the valve covers off and the head bolts off, and then even then, I don't know if I can even get the head off after that, because they sit so much farther into the engine bay, and they're actually not even as low as they can be, because I undid the motor mounts and jacked it up, and it's not sitting fully back in, but I could only jack it up so much. And I did take this off. I did have that on before, so I think I might be able to jack it up a little bit more. But I'm honestly so close to being able to just take the engine out, I might as well do that. So trying to figure out what to do. You know what's better than cheesy ass hubcaps? No hubcaps. Oh look, they had 10 lug nuts on this side. Look at that. I hate the way hubcaps look. I'd much rather have a car with just, oh, well, I caught it, with just steelies on. And it did come with the stock back wheels. That one's low, so I'm about to air it up. But they're fucking white walls, which I think is kind of hot, honestly. If I could find white walls for tires on that car, I would definitely whip some fucking white wall tires on my Subaru. I just don't know where to find. But anyway, so I'm gonna probably put those on the back eventually. But I'm gonna repaint them black, not silver. I might repaint the bottom black, but it's honestly pretty clean. Or fucking that is so weathered down. But yeah, just trying to fix up the style a little bit, just make it look cleaner. I don't know, I don't think it's that necessary to do it black, but fix the gas cap because that is like weird plasti dip gold or something. No, it's flaky, so it's like they spray painted the gas cap door the same color as the wheels. And then I'm also going to tint these like I do on every single car. If I have a car, you know that I'm going to tint the ambers. Every single car I've ever owned has had tinted amber lights. My Volvo has it too, and it's in the backyard. I hate the way amber looks, and it looks so much when it's tinted, except whenever it's like on the side. I think that looks good, but other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and tape this up just so I have something to work on because I'm so bored. And I was barely able to pull the dent. There's still a little bit of a dent, but it pulled the big one. There's just a small one. And I think it's from someone pushing, possibly me, but I think it was in the photos when I bought it. But other than that, I'm gonna tape this bitch up. Well, I officially hate dual overhead cam. So whenever I first was getting this car, I didn't know it was dual overhead cam. I didn't really think much of it. After looking in the engine bay before I even bought it, I was like, oof, this is a dual overhead cam, EJ25D to be exact. And I never done a head gasket on a dual overhead cam, so I haven't even got to mess with the timing, and I know I'm going to hate it. But the fact that in order to take the head off, you have to remove both cams and everything, and the cam gears and all that, that is a pain in the ass, and it's taking a lot longer than I expected. But luckily I was able to get all the head bolts off, and I'm about to pull it off, and I wanted to record it real quick. And I have the motor jacked up with some new wooden motor mounts that I just set some blocks of wood so it'll stay up higher. So I was able to get to everything pretty easily. I'm about to pull it off, but I just hate the fact that I had to take this all off, and they're barely numbered. I was trying to do it with the pin myself, but what I'm gonna end up doing is setting the head down and then just barely screwing these back in so I don't mess them up. But the head's about to come off. I at least wanted to get one off. This side's a little bit lower than this side, so it's gonna be a little bit more of a pain. I'll probably have to jack it just that side up just so I can get to it, but I'm about to pull it off. So here's a head gasket. I just picked it up, so let me see if I can find where it blew. Most likely, you can see this bitch is really rusty, and I think it blew right at these ports. You see how it's missing this material if you look on the other side, and that's usually where it blows, right there. And I can just see the inside of the motor all rusty and seized, and that's kind of scary. So let me put the light on it and record it for y'all. So are y'all ready for this? There it is. This shit is so nasty. These cylinder walls feel disgusting. It feels like there's rust. Like that cylinder wall is cruddy, and I hope I can save it, but I don't even know because this is so disgusting. Holy shit. No wonder it's seized up. This is nasty. I'll have to research and see, because that is like sandpaper almost. I don't know if that's savable, and if it's not savable, this is gonna be a pain in the ass to get another motor. I pretty much have the motor pulled technically, you know. I just need to undo the transmission bolts and pull it out, but that's more money I have to spend. So after looking at this, I'm gonna go see what I can do about it. Alright guys, well I'm gonna go ahead and end this video on a bad note. I was just, you know, looking at the motor closely. I tried to wire wheel it just to do it because I didn't know if it scarred up or not, but I thought I might as well fucking try it, and it didn't. All it showed me was how more scarred it was. So I since pushed the Forester out and brought my Subaru back in. I'm about to go on an 18-hour drive. I'm going from Houston to South Carolina in the Charleston area. So I wanted to keep my car parked in the garage for the 5 days I'm gone. So I went ahead and pushed it out. Gonna look for a new motor. There's no point in rebuilding it if the walls are scarred. So anyways, hopefully my next videos are nice and not as fucking boring and disappointing like so. Thanks for watching, guys. Smash that like button, subscribe, tell your friends, stay steezy, and peace.